got a couple of picks, just eating Nomy up right there after getting the hook in onto him. It was pretty easy from that point forward. And you see Immortals were just very scattered there. Like Grimreality got isolated all the way over on the side, and then this Graviton came through, and it was just game over at that point. I mean, it was pretty much game over before that Graviton came through. They probably could have had the same effect without it. So.
Yeah, talking about Gravitons, we saw on the defense at the very final hold, we saw Babybay sitting in the little health pack underneath the statue, turns to Graviton the same way he did the first time, but saw the defense matrix, is like, nope, turns around, goes and Gravitons the other way. Just like that sort of awareness was huge for them. I think it's a big part of what has Kungarna right here.
In that replay, I was shocked. I swear the Graviton was much less sketchy than that, even though it was still sketchy, and that was, wow.
Yeah, you had that look on your face.
I'm surprised you let that loose.
I mean, you know, he, as you were talking about, he made a good play, though, the one time when he's hiding under the statue. He does it pretty much every time. He just always sits in the same spot with his Graviton and waits for, you know, whatever side of the statue they're going to come out on. And then that time he turns right. Here is, you know, he sees that defense matrix, boom. And that's really good awareness, as you were saying, Caleb, pairing that with bomb combos or self-destructs of MYKL. And they always love using Graviton right in that same spot pretty much every time. You can look back at any of their matches on Kings Row, and that's how they like to play the defense.
So map number 2. There's the Immortals going to Nepal is where they want to take this one and make their stand here.
I had a feeling.
So how do you think Immortals is going to be able to bounce back here, or is Kungarna going to be able to put it away?
I think Immortals can bounce back here. I think this is a good decision on their part. They can certainly break out Grimreality's DPS capabilities a bit more on Nepal. And also, when Agilities is a little bit less predictable, when he can come from a number of angles in a general area instead of he's probably going to be on this corner, he becomes a completely different threat to the enemy team. And some of that does go back on, not some, a lot of it still goes back on the other hand as well with the Babybay and connorj combo for Kungarna. But I feel like this is Immortals' map to take. They obviously have to, or they're going to lose the match. If they don't take this one, that gives me a little bit of concern for them going in for their second match. And Kungarna, they're looking hot right now, so I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah,
alrighty.
Yeah, I think if any map, this is going to be Immortals for sure. This is another one that they've had good success on, so I suspect them to take this.
Alrighty, well, let's see how it pans out.
And Nepal it is, as Kungarna taking it to Immortals on map number 1, which was Kings Row, which, of course, I said the same thing about Kings Row being a good map for Immortals, and, well, apparently that wasn't quite the case, at least today. But Nepal is another one where they've had pretty good success. This is another one that they beat Kungarna in during the qualifiers. Immortals beat them on this map in qualifier number 4, but can they do it again today is the question. As we have some nice troll picks on the side of Kungarna. And now we'll be getting into our normal setups. connorj is going to be playing the Mei. Oftentimes does like to do that on this stage of Nepal. And MYKL will be on the Tracer. Grimreality rocking the Tracer for Immortals here. And Agilities playing the Zarya for that bomb combination potentially rather than the Roadhog, as they do not have a Mei on the field for themselves. But Mei can be very, very strong on this village stage. Already walling off that left-hand side, keeping the Immortals players out of it. Nomy went down. He got walled off out of the gate, and that's an early pick for them. Hyped will get taken down as well, but not before he killed Ajax. So they do get one of the supports of Kungarna, but regardless, they have guys all over the point. connorj in the right click, taking it to Grimreality and walling off a lot of players here as connorj and the rest of the Kungarna players will be able to go through and just clean up. Iremiix getting 3 for himself. He's already got an Earthshatter in the bank.
I was calling for the Icicle headshots yesterday. Apparently connorj decided one to live up to that request, drilling Grimreality right in the face. I've lived that life too many times to even think about. Immortals, I'm going to have to get their foot back into this fight. I just don't see... I don't see how they're going to get past Iremiix with this situation. Oh my god. I'm dying on the inside right now.
No, he's just going to he's going to go for the swings on Aythen. Oh, man. What a weird scenario here. You have the rest of Immortals coming in from the high ground. They're coming up top. Nomy goes down before he can get the Earthshatter off. connorj using that Blizzard is going to get verbo caught in it. Kungarna winning yet another team fight here. Grimreality finished off by MYKL. More headshots ringing in from connorj. They used a nano boost on that fight as well. Immortals, Aythen had popped it off and getting no value out of that whatsoever. And that will be still a hold for Kungarna, 70% and counting. Immortals need to make something happen with the Graviton that they have coming up in that Earthshatter, possibly that bomb combination. That's going to be huge for Immortals.
Agreed. And a similar outlook for Kungarna, and so far Kungarna's been the one setting the tempo. So if they do that again, they can stave off Immortals one more time at least.
You have Babybay with his own Graviton. MYKL doesn't yet have that Pulse Bomb. He's getting very, very close to it, but won't be able to pair it directly. Nomy using Earthshatter. Shield was still up from Iremiix. Now the counter Graviton out from Immortals. Here we go. This is something for them, finally, as they have 3, 4, 5 kills, actually. Make that a team wipe for Immortals as they come back in with a vengeance to retake the point. But the story here is Kungarna already getting 98%. So Immortals investing a lot into that fight. They get the point. They're going to have to be just about perfect through the rest of this.
Especially in this next fight, Kungarna could and should easily come back. Iremiix with an Earthshatter, Ajax a Sound Barrier, stringing those together. Only a Sound Barrier on Immortals to shut that down.
Agilities had a good wall to get the supports away from the rest of Kungarna. They are starting to make their way back in, though. Sound Barrier out from Kungarna, Sound Barrier from Immortals as well. There will be a Blizzard on the point. MYKL snags up 2 frags for himself. Kungarna are just blowing through Immortals at the moment on this point. It's only Aythen left. There's no one to even give that nano boost to. Kungarna gets it back, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to make it onto the point in time right here as Kungarna takes our stage 1 on the village. They'll be up 1-0 in our series.
connorj playing May with devastating effect throughout that stage. Pushing into the second one. Immortals just still looking a little bit disorganized, like there's just something wrong with their play environment or something going on.
Yeah, something seems just definitely off. A little off. Yeah, they're not quite the team we're used to seeing, though. At the same time, I have to say Kungarna is playing quite well themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, connorj right there was a monster on May. MYKL was doing big stuff on Tracer, now making a switch over to Diva, as I suspected for the Sanctum phase of the map. And it will be Kungarna on the quad tank. Immortals will be running triple tank with Grimreality on the Soldier 76, as they often do. So right away, Immortals getting slightly better positioning here, though. Nomy charged immediately, and connorj gets the final blow. The Iremiix was able to get a return frag on the enemy Reinhardt to take out Iremiix. So that will be Grimreality with a couple for himself, though, making his presence known very early here. 3 kills on the point. Oh, no! Oh, Grimreality, he really wanted that extra kill.
He's trying to get the ult charge.
Oh, that's actually that's not good.
I think that's one of only 2 times I've seen somebody jump off a cliff in the winter premiere accidentally.
Yeah, that's a good moment.
Both Soldier 76s are both on this map, if I remember correctly.
They're getting greedy. It's greedy as they just want their name all up in that kill feed. Oh, nice hook, but a better bubble on the side of Kungarna as Babybay is able to keep his Roadhog alive. Here comes the Graviton from Babybay, a good biotic that lands in the middle of them as well. Kungarna cleaning house. The Earthshatter came through from Nomy, and I don't know if that was the time to use the Earthshatter because there was not much follow-up to be had right there. I think I would have been much better off just saving that Earthshatter for the next fight when you actually have the follow-up there. It's a missed opportunity for Immortals.
Grimreality with attack visor, Agilities with a whole hog as they press back to try and get control of the capture point. Once again, it's going to be tough to get through Kungarna, though. Kungarna with an Earthshatter of their own. They can definitely control this gate as long as Babybay can work on another Graviton. They can hold again after that. Self-destruct coming out of Kungarna to buy some time at least. MYKL's going to pick up Nomy.
And that'll just delay this even more. Kungarna playing very aggressive. They lost Iremiix, though. Oh, good move from MYKL. But still, you have Immortals players who've snuck themselves all the way onto the point. Hyped is there. He will be using self-destruct. It will actually pick up Babybay with it and allow Immortals to grab this point while Kungarna was busy pressing so far forward. The Immortals players just wrapped themselves onto the point and were able to cap it. And now they're just going to keep taking away.
There. It certainly looked like they had control, and now Immortals back on point with 4 ultimates locked. Nano Visor looming here. A whole hog from Agilities can kind of do some buying of time, pressing people back with the pushback in particular, and Verbo with a sound barrier to buy even more time. Kungarna is now starting to press back into Immortals.
Iremiix is going to charge, finding Grimreality and pinning him into the wall. 3 kills for Kungarna, and they're using the nano boost on the connorj in the middle of that with the whole hog, but going to be Kungarna taking the point right back. 80% on the board for Immortals here, and they are pressing very aggressively yet again. Kungarna trying to clean up on some of these kills and buy themselves a bit more time, but Immortals now looking to push quickly. Nomy has, or is just about to have, an Earth Shatter. There is a Graviton for Kungarna though, and they are going to get lots of kills. They're just about a team wipe, as Grimreality and Hyped are the only ones to survive, so good aggressive play again from Kungarna. But now Nomy has that Earth Shatter, which they're going to be looking to come back in. Kungarna's going to have that Earth Shatter of their own to try and stop them as they reinitiate.
And if they use MYKL's self-destruct like they did last time, they should be able to hold this gate again and can hold back Immortals with just the CC presence and the time that takes on its own. Immortals perhaps fainting like they're going to come in through another gate, readjusting back to center, trying to get some motion out of Kungarna and look for an opening.
Now Immortals making their push back in. This is going to be one of the last fights. Grimreality getting that nano visor. He's got a diva up in his face though, and Verbo got charged by Iremiix, and that is so much work done by Kungarna right there. Agilities gets Iremiix at the very end of it, but someone from Immortals needs to get on the point, but nobody is home. In the end, Kungarna taking a 2-0 lead right here, and I mean, Immortals looked pretty good off the earlier stages of Sanctum there, and then it was just a complete reversal. Kungarna playing super aggressively, and Immortals just didn't have a response to it a lot of the time.
You know, once Kungarna took it back, I believe for the second time, from that point forward, it really looked like Kungarna's had full control of it. There was one misstep where they gave it back to Immortals there, but as soon as Kungarna regained control, they just didn't look like they were going to budge off of it. So now we're pushing into the shrine portion of Nepal. It's going to be tough for Immortals here. They're down completely. This is match point for them in every sense of the word. Right now, Kungarna looking like they're one stage away from closing this out.
And this could be it for Immortals' undefeated record in matches throughout group stage of the Winter Premier, as Kungarna's looking to finally bring that to an end. They have good position to do so. It is currently 2-1 or 2-0 on Nepal. For them, they just need a shrine phase, and they will take this match on home. So far, it's just a lot of poke back and forth. Both teams posturing. Grimreality is going to be on Tracer this time, and it will be Kungarna still running the quad tank. So far, we trade 1-for-1. connorj and Nomy are both down. And now Ajax is going to fall. Here we go. Immortals getting some kills. Agilities with 3 for himself as he gets the nano boost, just melting people all over the place. And Immortals off to a good start here.
And Immortals had full control of that fight from the beginning. It looked like to me they were certainly generating their ultimates faster, getting a number of kills in exchange basically for 1. And now Kungarna's going to have to attack into Immortals while Immortals defends with every tool they need to hold on to this point for at least 2 more pushes. They've got a bomb combo with the Graviton and the Pulse Bomb. Also Nomy with an Earth Shatter. You know he can find that right angle. And Hyped with a self-destruct. Oh, but the Graviton comes out.
Here comes. They have a lot of follow-up as well. Immortals, they are going to be all over them at the moment. Babybay throwing his, I think, in the middle of that, but didn't really get a whole lot of anything. At first, I was afraid that Graviton could have gotten eaten. It was a very long-range Graviton,
looked like it
too.
got eaten.
Yeah, it's risky to go for such a long, like, shooting it off from that far away with Diva on the field. I mean, it's got to decent potential to be eaten up, but it worked out for them in the end.
Nomy's looking for a big Earth Shatter here. Once they can get Iremiix out of the way, he can get around it. He's going to land that, but Iremiix isn't going to have it. He's going to push Nomy back.
Just trying to play these games with the shield, the mind games on the Rhine shields. Nomy goes down, though. He used an Earth Shatter in the middle of it. Here comes the sound barrier out from the side of Immortals. They are down one player at the moment. Iremiix got nano boosted as he is still looking for kills, able to finish off Hyped as he got ejected from his suit, and Kungarna is going to be able to retake here. It seems 3 players out of it for Immortals currently, and a lot more were in the middle of respawning. So Kungarna is able to retake, but Immortals get themselves up to 80%.
They're 1 possession away. They have Graviton for Agilities in the next fight or so. With the economy the way it is, Kungarna looks like they can probably hold it for 2 fights here unless Immortals finds a big come up here in the next fight with Agilities, Graviton. That's going to be probably one of the more pivotal things, but Kungarna looking to dictate the pace of this.
Oh, Iremiix getting charged all the way into the back, going for
see you
charge
later.
of his own. Actually is able to make it out. I think MYKL gets a couple kills for himself here as the fight continues on the point. Immortals have a lot of presence here, but MYKL is going to have something to say about it. connorj getting 2 frags, though. Nomy and 1 more on top of that. connorj is still doing work. 3 kills for him in the fight. Kungarna is going to be able to hang on. Immortals still with a percentage lead here, but Kungarna is very quickly closing that gap. And Immortals did not expel their Graviton there.
Immortals with an economic lead as well. I mean, they're going to be able to break out 5 ultimates. We could list them all, but it's basically everything that matters aside from a sound barrier on their side. And Kungarna, they have a nano boost and they do have an Earth Shatter and potentially a sound barrier, but if Immortals takes it to them first, they will undoubtedly take this back.
They have a lot of tools in the kit to make this one happen. Iremiix goes for an Earth Shatter, though, and is going to find a lot of kills off of that. 2 so far, and he'll not be able to get any more, but it's enough for Kungarna to hold on here. But again, that was good from Immortals. They didn't use anything off of that, and they had some time to buy, but now they're going to have to re-engage quickly. They need to take the fight to them with these ultimates because they are ahead big time in the economy.
Big time indeed, but they've got to get in there now. They have no time to waste, and then just let them all fly. Even if you're jumping them on 1 person only, you're trying to get solo kills, that'll all add up, and you're 1 possession away. Agilities with a nano boost on him.
He threw his Graviton in the back somewhere. I don't even know where it ended up landing. I don't think it got eaten. I think it just went over the hill, over the stairs, and got nothing out of it. This could be disastrous for Immortals right here. Each team has lost 1 player. Both of the Reinhardts are out of the mix for these guys, and this will be probably the final fight of the game. Immortals are finding some kills. Grimreality takes down Blam, and he's looking for a little bit more to add to his collection here. MYKL and Babybay are going down. Immortals should be able to retake this point here. Indeed, they will. Kungarna is going to have 1 last shot to get themselves back to this point and try and take on Immortals to finish off the match.
That was a stressful engagement, even as just a spectator. Immortals has a sound barrier, and that's the only thing they have to defend right now. Well, getting pretty close to a Grimreality's Pulse Bomb, and Agility's actually very close to a Graviton.
Yeah, they have the combination just about to come up. Potentially MYKL with the self-destruct. That's 2 kills for Kungarna. That might spell the end for Immortals as the Earth Shatter came out from Iremiix. Didn't get a whole lot of value off of it. Here's a Graviton in from Immortals. Agilities put that out there, but Kungarna is still finding all the kills here. This may just be the end for Immortals. Grimreality is on the point, trying to stall as long as he possibly can. Verbo used that sound barrier, and he is hanging on the point, and here comes another Graviton from Babybay. Will snag up a couple kills inside of that one, and now a sound barrier for Kungarna. That should undoubtedly seal the deal for them unless a miracle comes out from Immortals. Pulse Bomb for, it's going to be Grimreality throwing it out there. Still not a whole lot for him. Iremiix taken down by Hyped, and you still have players on the point from Immortals that are stalling it out, but I can't imagine they actually come out on top of the fight. It's all Kungarna in the kill feed. Verbo is just running around on top of the point. Somebody needs to take care of him on the side of Kungarna. There it is. They finish it off, and that will be them taking it 3-0 on Nepal, 2-0 in the match. Just a steamroll.
Grimreality's basically putting on a magic show on the corner to keep that alive for so long. And some of those kills he picked up were perfect, but oh man, Immortals just not playing the way that we've seen them play in the past, and Kungarna definitely playing up.
No, I think there was definitely something, like you guys said, there was like something a little bit off about Immortals. I don't know, because Kungarna, that was about as fast as you could possibly beat a team here. Take another look at this decisive win from Kungarna as they're able to clean it up here on Nepal. Holy cow.
Honestly, something was off with Immortals. I don't know fully exactly what that was, but I know there was a few times where, I mean, they were using ultimates. They came into this next fight with the one right after this replay here. They came into that next fight with huge lead in the ult economy, and they still struggled to retake the point a bit. I mean, it was some rushed ultimates from Agilities a couple times, just like throwing his Graviton out, very panicked, and just not setting up for a good opportunity for it. Granted, he was in a tough situation. He had the potential of dying. I get the mindset trying to get the Graviton out, but still, it's, I don't know, it made it tougher on themselves taking a point with 6 ultimates than it needed to be.
And to Kungarna's credit, they're doing a very good job of breaking up the game plan and setting the tempo, which is always so important. You don't necessarily, something we praise Complexity for in qualifiers, you don't necessarily want to sit back and just constantly wait for that obvious pick or opening to align itself. You need to find ways of making it happen, and those should be the things that they're practicing and scrimmaging and really spending time strategizing about more as kind of small-scale tactics about how to open up something in those situations to come back. And whatever they were able to do in the past, Immortals was very open to it today, and Kungarna hitting them at the right times in the right places and just disassembling what Immortals had going.
Yeah, and eventually on that second attempt when they came in with like all 6 ults, they were able to eventually cap the point. But I was so impressed by Kungarna's ability to say, no, we're going to take the fight to you. We're gonna isolate someone immediately and just kind of break up your game plan, really make it a different sort of situation here. And so Immortals came into the day undefeated, and now they have a loss in that loss column. You can see it right there at the top. They're still at the top. If they lose today to Complexity, though, we're going to have a 3-way tie up there. And the match rating.
That's the thing. There's, you know, they still have another match today, and with the way they're playing, it's very possible that Complexity could beat them. And to be honest, Complexity really needs these wins, so it's important for a lot of people in these matches today. So Immortals, nonetheless, still sitting at the top for the time being.
And if it gets into a 3-way tie, they will retain that as they've beaten the other teams that they'd be in a tie with. So. Either way, that's going to continue over in the round of 6, and you want to get an advantage as early as possible. And what DeHank said with Liquid is probably some of the wisest words to focus on in any competitive game, and in this situation in particular. Play every game like it's potentially your last, like it's the one you absolutely have to win.
It's a good mindset.
You never know when that one game you gave up is going to come back to bite you.
Absolutely. Immortals needing to get a win later over Complexity, who is the other team who is running the gauntlet today. They will have 2 matches, and one of those is coming up next. It will be Complexity versus Luminosity. When we come back from the break, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.